I'm Andy Pilgrim for Automobile Magazine, and today at NCM Motorsports Park, I have a Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye with the wide body option, and I'm going to take it on track. So what makes this a Redeye? This makes this a Redeye. 797 horsepower and 707 pounds-feet of torque from this supercharged V8 Hemi motor. It is a monster. I mean, look at this supercharger belt. I wonder how much horsepower it takes to actually run this supercharger. It just about fits in here. There's not much room in here with all the stuff that's going on, but one of the things about the Challenger range is the number of options. You've got a car that starts in the 30,000s at the base price Challenger, and you can go all the way into the 90s with the amount of options. People can customize these things and do customize them every which way you can imagine. And this one does come with a lot of different options. In particular, I kind of like this black satin painted finish that goes all the way across the car. That is an option for this car. Another option on this car is the wide body pack, which, as you can see from these flares, I love these flares. 3.5-inch wider track on this car. Also has wider wheels that come with it. Instead of the 9.5-inch, you've got the 11-inch wide. Both ends have the 11-inch wheels, and both ends have the 305/35 Pirelli P0 tire, which is like a summer tire. It's pretty grippy. It's not Cup 2 Michelin or Pirelli Corsa R grippy, but it's a really good tire for the road, and really good tire for playing around on track as well. Bigger brakes, 6-piston Brembo calipers on this, 15.4-inch rotors. You need the big brakes. Obviously, the speed of this car, potential for the Hellcat is enormous. 13.8-inch in the back with the 4-piston Brembo calipers again. So you've got the right brake setup. Really like the flares on the car. And obviously other options on the car that come with the Redeye. You get this wonderful graphics with the Redeye in the middle of it. And you've got also beautiful, really nice leather seats, very, very comfortable. It's kind of old Grand Touring color in here from Europe, I think. But the seats are great, and they've got good bolstering, really good on track. Another tip to Redeye is in the back of the seats, where you've got the SRT logo and the Redeye nicely sculpted into the leather in the back of the seat. Also, staring at you in the dash, so on the interior, they've got a carbon fiber look, which I like. It's not too shiny. I don't like the interior to be too shiny, but it looks nice. And also here, because it's the Redeye and the Hellcat all together, you've got SRT button here, you've got the launch button, and you've got the TC button. So the SRT refers to the adjustability of the suspension package, and the launch is obviously the launch control, which with 800 horsepower, you pretty much need some help on the launch with this car, I have no doubt. This is a car that's actually quite practical. I'm in the back. I'm 5'10", my knees are not touching the back of the seat. I want to get out, put it forward. The seat there is in a position that I would use for driving, so we're not cheating. And then if you come to the back of the car, you got to go grocery getter, if you want to call it that. This is an enormous trunk. So it's got the biggest, most powerful motor you can find, and it's a usable, practical car if you want it, and it looks the business, especially with this wide body option, in my humble opinion, which looks great.
So let's take it on track. We got a long straightaway here at NCM Motorsports Park, and we've got a straight line rocket in the Redeye. Launch control on, left foot on the brake, right foot on the gas, go. Little bit of wheel spin correction from the TC there, and now we're on fire. We're flying down here. Half mile down, we've got some cones where the start and finish is about half mile. Right there, about 157 miles an hour. I banged it up to 163, then hard on the brakes. Amazing, amazing. Over 4,500 pounds. This thing's a rocket. Of course, 800 horsepower does help. So from the front, you've got the supercharger screaming, sounds like a jet engine. You can't really hear that in the car because the sound's going out the other way. Check this out. From the pit lane, we got some good sound. F16 all the way. So we've got a straight line rocket, we've got a drifter's dream, but believe it or not, this car has some chops on a road course. Coming down the front straightaway, almost over 140 miles an hour coming into turn one, a little bit of understeer there, had to pull it back, using a lot of curb here. This is a big car, therefore, you've got to use some of the curb to help you out. The P0s are really hanging on very well, actually, for such a big car. The curbs do upset the car a little bit, so you have to be ready for that. A bit surprising on a big car, but hey, again, you're really working to get the car around the track, and it's actually a lot of fun. Even through turn 4 here, the car's sliding, so you have to be ready because it's pulling so much speed with not a whole lot of downforce help. To turn 6, really got to slow it down here. Again, if you try to rush the car with this much weight, this much front end weight through a tight turn, it's just going to be all understeer. Did well through turn 8 here, did well through 8. I got it down, got it turned, got the rear end to come out a little bit, used a little bit of extra curve there, it didn't hurt. Coming down into 10, I was surprised. 104 is very good. Up to deception, I knew I was going to lose a lot of curb here again to get it turned. Kept over 70 miles an hour, it's pretty good. Couldn't use all the power over 13 here, could not do it. Just listen to that motor scream over tabletop. Fast through here, sliding around, letting it drift around. You don't get a lot of stick, but it's still fun to let it drift. It's great fun. Grab a little bit of speed down here to 18, 19. Had to be careful. Again, it really did well. I got the back to come around and it got a nice tight apex in 19. Bit of oversteer coming out. Again, got to be careful how you use the power. Patience through here. A lot of curb. Try to keep that late apex. Come into 22. And then gingerly, carefully on the power here. This car really rips down the straightaway. Over 140 miles an hour. 2:19.5. Well, I thought really respectable time might be a 2:20, and it made under 2:20. Great stuff.
Tell you what, the Redeye pretty much gives you perma-grin. You can see from behind me the fun I've been having with this car on track and just messing around because we've got lots of places to be able to do it here. It's a nice road car, great road trip car, really comfortable with the way this one's appointed for sure. It's very, very comfortable. Big trunk, and it's got a personality that's split so many ways that you could keep a psychiatrist busy for years. And that's what attracts me to this car because, you know, probably I'm not really very well. And that whine of the supercharger, you guys heard it flying down the straightaway here. The whine of the supercharger is almost worth the price of admission on its own. Dodge Challenger, Hellcat Redeye, wide body, there you go. What can you say? Worth every penny.